Hello, boys and girls, and I'm so excited to do another podcast today. You have just finished reading Children of Williston Lane, chapters 4 through 8. And now, what I'd like you to do is I would like you to now make a timeline of the events that are listed in the chapters. So, the first thing I want to do is I want to show you a timeline that I created based on the events in chapters 1 through 2. And then I want to show you some tools that you could use yourself to create to continue the timeline. So what I did is I created a Google presentation using slides to kind of illustrate some of the important events that I found in chapters 1 through 2. So we know that as Lisa is kind of going to her professor's house, she realizes that the streets are no longer named after Jewish heroes. The Mahler Strauss is changed to Meister Stringer Strauss. So I therefore wrote the streets are no longer named after Jewish heroes, and I also kind of put a picture of this is actually taken from a street in Vienna. So I put a picture there with her with a trolley, but she was on a streetcar. The next events I kind of found was the fact that she knows that the Nazis were guarding the streets more. So therefore, I wrote Nazis are guarding the streets, and I put in a picture of a Nazi. Afterwards, we learned Professor Issels basically told Lisa that unfortunately he could no longer teach her. So therefore, the Germans can no longer teach Jewish children. And finally, we have Kristallnacht. Clearly, there are many details that we learn about Kristallnacht, but I kind of decided to choose the heading of Kristallnacht. So what you're going to be doing is that you are actually going to be taking the important events that you posted in from chapters 3 through 8, and you're going to be starting a timeline, which you're going to be adding to for the rest of the book. So I want you to now, first of all, choose the tool that you want to use. You are either welcome to use Google presentation if you want to use that, in which you just have to write the event. I'd rather you not just write the name. I'd like you to describe the event a little bit more, like, for example, that Germans can no longer teach Jewish children. And then I want you to choose a picture that kind of fits with that, and an appropriate picture. So that's one tool you could use. Another tool that you could use, which I'm going to link on Schoology, is this tool. I don't believe the history tool. So you're going to click on log in with Google. In general, I would always get into the mode of logging in with Google. I think it's an effective tool. You don't have to sign in. You don't have to remember passwords. You're going to log in with Google. Normally, you're going to be asked, to allow something. I already have logged in so far. At one point, for some reason, it's not logging in. Oh, it is logging in. Okay, and I've logged in. So you're going to scroll down to my timelines. Okay, you're going to create a timeline. I've already created a couple of timelines, but I'm going to create a timeline. And I am going to wait for the timeline to turn on. Okay, and I'm going to choose a title. I'm going to label it The Children of Williston Lane. And I'm going to probably just write here, Lisa's experiences during World War II. Okay, so I've effectively labeled my title. Now it's time to add an event. So I'm going to scroll down to where I have the plus over here, and I'm going to click on it. Now you have an option to do text, image, video, audio, etc. What I find that if I just press text, it's hard to put a picture in. So I would actually choose image. Okay, and over here it says add an image and insert the image description. So I'm going to actually first write here, what do I want the first event to be? I would say that we know that at the beginning of chapter 3 that curfews have begun. Okay, so there starts to be the Nazis start enforcing curfew on the Jews in Austria. Fine. Curfew means that they have to be, they have to be, home at a certain amount of time. So I'm going to choose an image for curfew. Now I want to kind of try to make this a little serious. In World War II, let's see. Okay, so is this a picture of curfew? Well, I guess you could say the fact that it's pretty empty. Maybe I would use that as a picture. Here people are running to kind of make it home for curfew. Let's see if I can find a different picture. Curfew. Um, okay, well, I'm spending right now too much time trying to pick a picture of curfew, so um, maybe I'll just use this one. Save image as. Okay? Save image as, just like we did for the pictochart. Save image as. Make sure it's a JPEG. I'm going to press save. And then up to image, I'm going to add an image. And we're going to do the same thing. Upload from computer. Okay? I'm going to click on my download. I'm going to press open. And that's it. Nazis started forcing curfew on the Jews. I have my image. Great, I'm done. Now let me add a second thing. Okay, what's the next event that I can add? Maybe children travel to England on the Kinder Transport. Okay, add an image. I'm going to look up Kinder Transport. Okay, save image as. Press save. Then I'm going to upload it from the computer. I think this was it. Open. And that's it. And then I'm going to continue to add events. So this is the second event. And I'm going to continue a plus. If I don't like the event, I could always delete it using this trash can. And that's pretty much it. So just to review, you are going to be doing a timeline. You're going to be adding onto this timeline throughout the book. So you need to make a decision. Do I want to use a timeline from Google Presentation, or do I want to use this timeline from this link from this website, which I'm going to be linking at the Schoology? Either way, I am confident you're going to do a fantastic job. This is Mrs. Kurtz signing off.